So guys, here, look at this. Didn't have to do anything. There was no error, but it just took some time. Sometimes you have to refresh. Sometimes it will appear here, right? It will show you one connected. Now, because I have downloaded this and configured this only on one host, only on one PC or only on one host where my virtual machines are hosted. It could be any number of virtual machines. Okay. In case you want to know about the errors, so you don't have to do and get errors and then learn. You simply click here, and this is what they might ask you in your interview, that after doing this, what if your host is not appearing here? Let's say that you have done it for 5 hosts and only 4 are appearing here and one of them is not appearing here. What troubleshooting would you do? So you don't literally have to, create 5 hosts or उसमें ये सब करके देखो. You don't have to do that. It's simply given here, and you have to say the same things in your interview. What all things will you do? These things: check, download, check if the connector which we have installed, is it working properly? All these details. Download the provider, all these details. See, complete information is given here. If it doesn't work properly, what needs to be done, that is also given here. Okay, so simple things you have to check here. That's all you have to do. यहाँ पर भी नहीं है, पोर्टल पे भी आपको मिल जाता है. And even if you do a single Google click, it is there in our OneNote also. And even if you do a single Google search, the issues at the time of migration, you will get n number of them. So what I'm trying to say is you don't have to do everything practically. Theoretical part is more important here, because you have to speak. You don't have to do a practical in your interview. Okay, saying that, here, having said that, I can see one is connected, so I'm gonna finalize the registration. Now it is finalizing the registration, and in some time I should get an option to start replicating my machines. So we'll just wait for that to happen. People who are familiar with AWS or GCP, instead of creating this on laptop, you can create your machine on AWS also, and there you can install one Hyper-V और वहां से यहाँ पर आप इसको ये कर सकते हो, migrate कर सकते हो. You can do that also. You're not migrating a machine which is on AWS to Azure. AWS में machine बना के उसके अंदर Hyper-V बनाओ आप, and then move those machines. You can move AWS machine also. That option was there, but under this one we are moving Hyper-V machines. Okay, if it was directly a machine which is there on AWS, we have an option here to select that separately. So let's wait for this time while this is being done. I told you this takes some time. पूरा migration जो है अपने आप में एक time taking process है. So do you guys have any questions? Any doubts? Yes.
Yeah, I need to ask that, like, do we have any configurations, like how to install this Hyper-V? Like, have you mentioned in the
Hyper-V, it's very simple. I'll show it to you. Don't worry. Let me get one server. I'll show it to you. I have one here. I don't want. Okay. You go to Azure or you go to AWS or something. First, let's get this done. Whenever it is syncing or doing something, in that time we'll utilize to check how to install Hyper-V. Though that is not a part of Azure at all. So if you get any error, if you get something, do not worry about it. Do not spend time on that troubleshooting में. उसको interview point of view से बिल्कुल मत लेना. For your practical purpose, I'll show it to you. Knowledge purpose, I'll show it to you. But Azure के interview से उसको confuse मत करना. No one is going to ask you anything about Hyper-V in Azure's interview.
Sure.
Okay. So now look at this. Okay, it still shows the 0 discovered server. Can you see, guys? What does it say? Discovery in progress, it showed here. And now I can see 4 servers. Why did it appear as 4 servers when I had only 1? Because while this was being done, I created 3 more servers on my laptop. On my laptop's Hyper-V, though they are not working properly. One of them should be work maybe. एक Linux server पे I'm working. See, I created this Linux. It doesn't have anything. Later on, it will fail. There's no OS in this. But initially, it discovered that. I tried this one also. It's not working again. There was some issue. I'm trying a new one. So this one could be working. But even if these 3 don't work, it's okay. We have one to understand and to complete our practical. But this is how it will look. If you have 100 machine there, it will discover all 100 machines. Is it clear, guys? Why is it showing 4 servers here? तो ये कहाँ से आ रहे हैं 4 सर्वर आप लोगों को समझ में आया? From where did we get these 4 servers? Any confusion? Guys, we have time. If you have questions, please do ask. I do not want to do किसी तरह की कोई जल्दी नहीं हमको. I don't want to go ahead and just complete it, finish it. No, we are not doing that. So if you have any doubt, please ask. Yes, no, maybe.
No, understood.
Okay. While this is being done, let's see. Okay, then we'll start the replication. So look at this. It quickly fetched the information that names, operating system welcome, name, storage, and the last date. It is just a discovery, okay? It has not fetched or not replicated any server. It is just showing me कि आपके यहाँ पर 2000 server है. Do you want to replicate all of those? Obviously no. I decide किन servers के साथ मुझको ये करना है. So I'll go ahead. Now, where do you want to move? Are we going to do a web app? Are we going to do some ASP.web app, or is it what are we talking about? Is it a lift and shift? We discussed that today we are doing lift and shift, right? So either we wanted to move to a virtual machine or a server. So I click on continue. I selected both those options. Yes, my machines. Is it coming from AWS? Is it coming from? Is it coming physical? I'm not migrating my physical laptop, guys. Understand? On my physical laptop, I have one Hyper-V installed. On that Hyper-V, I have 2 machines. I am migrating those machines, right? I'm not migrating my laptop. So I'm migrating machines which are hosted on Hyper-V. Okay, so click next. Import the migration setting. Who can tell me what is this? Yes, guys, what do you understand by this? Where is it coming from?
It's coming from migration assessment.
Perfect. See, I told you migration, it's not assessment is not a compulsory thing, but if it is there in the same project, you realize that now we are working on 2 different projects that I assessed some other servers, and I am downloading some I'm migrating some other servers. But in actual environment, this is never happening. Okay, in actual environment, एक project में वही होगा. If you're not assessing your servers, it's okay. You'll directly go ahead and migrate them. But एक project में इस तरह से नहीं होगा कि आपका assessment किसी और का रखा हुआ है और migration आप किसी और का कर रहे हो. Like we have in our environment, that is not going to happen. Is it clear, guys?
Yes.
But here we are getting this result from our assessment because एक ही project में दोनों रखे हुए. But do we have to use that? Will it even match? It won't match और वो एक failure हो जाएगा. So और अगर ये same project का होता तो still I told you those recommendations, those are only recommendations, nothing else. If you click yes, ये यहाँ से आपको select करना है कि कौन सा वाला recommendation आपको लेना है, and you will be able to apply them. But in this case, our machines are different. It is a mismatch. Hence, we'll go ahead and do this. And now we are selecting at which machines do we want. So I want this machine and I want this machine as of now. Click next. Okay, I told you guys about the landing zone setup, right? Under landing zone setup, which are the mandatory things I told you we need to have before we proceed with migration? I mean, there could be plenty of things. Whatever we can do or whatever we have to whatever we have to migrate, whatever we can migrate or whatever we can create before migrating, that is called my landing zone. But all are not mandatory. Something like load balancer, which can be done earlier, it's a good thing, but it can be done later also. But there are a few things which are mandatory, which are subscription. Obviously there has to be one subscription, तभी आपका ये बनेगा, right? Region we have already selected, subscription we have selected, resource group we have to select. So I think the one which we selected was, let me see, we created one, right? If not, we'll create one now. I see the goof up. What happened? See, all these details are created already, but where did I create? I created them in East US region. I wanted to do the migration in sorry, Central India region, but by mistake or something, we went ahead with East US. तो East US में कोई भी मेरा ऐसा resource group नहीं है जो मैंने select करके रखा. Though I can select one of these, जो already है यहाँ पर, I can select one of these, but I don't want to do that. So let's go ahead and create a new one. So under East US, I am going to create किस इस तरह का नाम दे दिया आपने. You create one, tagging and everything, it's fine. What all do we need? Landing zone setup में what are the must thing which we should have? The moment we have resource group, is only resource group enough?
No,
Oh,
it
yes,
should
yes,
be
what are
virtual
they?
network subnets.
Yes, virtual network. What else?
Subnets.
Yes, what else? One mandatory thing which we talked about in ASR also. So subscription is selected. That is the reason I have a resource group, right? Yeah, storage account. What should be the quality of that storage account?
Soft delete should be enabled or disabled.
Disabled, right? So let's create the storage account first. We created one, here it is, but you see it went to Central India. That is the reason we are not able to see it. So I should have one storage account.
Sohail bhai, I have a question here.
Yes.
Like if we want to do all this process for our personal PC, like we are migrating our personal PC, so सारे steps change हो जाएंगे क्या इसमें बहुत सारे?
नहीं, कुछ भी चेंज नहीं होगा. सब यहाँ पे the one where you selected initially, where you selected that you are bringing it from Hyper-V, उसके लिए आपको select करना पड़ेगा physical PC. ये सारे steps exactly वैसे ही रहेंगे, no matter where you are bringing your machines from. Where I selected Hyper-V, do you remember? It asked that where am I bringing my machines from? I selected Hyper-V. वहां पर ऑप्शन था
Yes.
AWS, GCP and physical. तो आपका लैपटॉप किस कैटेगरी में आता है?
Physical.
राइट,
तो
फिजिकल.
सोहेल भाई उसके बाद वो Hyper-V वगैरह का एप्लीकेशन डाउनलोड करने के लिए बोला था, तो फिजिकल के लिए भी तो कुछ अलग से बोलेगा.
हाँ, डेफिनेटली. The moment you select your source, according to that it will give you some software. आप जैसे ये बोलोगे वी सेंटर, इट विल गिव यू एक सॉफ्टवेयर कि इसको वी सेंटर में डाउनलोड कर लो. आप बोलो AWS, GCP या फिजिकल, इट विल गिव यू वन सॉफ्टवेयर कि इसको वहां पे जाके आप इंस्टॉल कर लो. सबके लिए कुछ ना कुछ अलग होगा, but method would be same.
Okay.
Okay, so we have to create one storage account where soft delete should be disabled. We created that. Obviously we'll require a virtual network, but don't try with your own PC. ठीक है, there are chances कभी कभार करप्ट वगैरह कर देता है, रेप्लिकेशन वगैरह में कुछ थोड़ा सा भी गड़बड़ हो जाता है, so there are chances कि आपके फाइल के DLL वगैरह पे भी इफेक्ट हो जाए, बहुत रेयर बट होता है, so don't do that. हाँ, unless आपका लैपटॉप एकदम फ्री है, कोई कहीं खास इशू नहीं है कि कुछ हो भी जाता है, so that's completely fine. So here we are creating a virtual network. Subnet by default बन जाएगा. This should be enough for us, but I just will create one more virtual network. And here we have not even started our replication. अभी तो replicate होगा, उसके बाद we'll do a test failover and then we'll do the failover. So it takes time. Now understand कि इतने छोटे से environment में इतना time लग रहा है, इतना goof up वगैरह हो रहा है. So migration it's a long process, इसीलिए वो years तक चलता है project. जितना लंबा, जितने ज्यादा servers वगैरह होंगे, उतना लंबा आपका ये होगा, project होगा. So it's not a thing कि आप 200-250 मशीन भी है तो एक दिन में कर दोगे, नो. Okay, so it's done, but I don't think so we'll see it here immediately. What we'll have to do is go back, come here. If it is still not available, maybe refresh the page once. By the way, I have my Linux server also up and running, but I'm not hosting any website on that. सब same ही दिखने वाला है already. So here, this is how it will look. आपका laptop के लिए कर रहा हो तो you will always select physical, but I'm bringing it from my Hyper-V. Okay, this server is up and running now. Let's say हम इनको भी select करते हैं, इनका replication fail होगा maybe because these two doesn't have any operating system in. I hope you guys are not getting confused, right? Where am I referring to? Here it is again. My laptop, on my laptop, there's a Hyper-V. On Hyper-V, I have 4 servers. Linux, it is just there, no operating system in there. यहाँ पर भी operating system है, but corrupt हो गया, चल नहीं रहा है. This one is working Linux proper. It is working, and this is a Windows. Our website is also working on that. We're trying to migrate all 4. इन दो में error आने के chance है. This two should work properly. But before we do that, what we have to do is replicate them. Here we have selected our resource group. Okay, this is a new feature, guys. See, I wasted my time. Cache storage account. I created one. Okay, I can see it here. But even if I wouldn't have done that, it gives me an option to auto create. So this is how it works. Okay, now the VNet. I have selected migration VNet. I have other VNets also, but I don't want to touch them. So I'm selecting migration VNet. Subnet default is fine. Availability zone, I do not want anything. Click next. Okay, now here, look at this. You can select size. If you would have selected, let's say if you would have done an assessment, right? अगर आप assessment करते और आप उस assessment को select करते first वाले step में, then you don't have to select it manually. ये सब अपने आप हो जाता, right? Because I said I will do it manually. Now I have to select it here. But imagine now here there are 100 servers. it's difficult for you to do it. Okay? So it's always recommended, and I told you it's always be the case that we will never ever do that without an assessment. Here we are doing it without assessment. मतलब assessment हमने किसी और का किया था, वो अलग project था, migration में किसी और का कर रहा हूँ. Look at this. Got error? The virtual machine name must be a letter name. Okay. It doesn't take normally it doesn't take Linux, but it is taking here the virtual machine name with a letter. I think there's a space. Let's see if that is the case. No, no space. Maybe this space it is talking about. So let's see. और कभी कभार ये इस तरह से नाम भी नहीं लेता है, like server 2016. I may get error for this, so I'll खुद से ही मैं इसको rename कर देता हूँ. Whatever these names are generic names, like if you try to give Windows Server name only Windows, it won't take. You try to give Linux server as only Linux, it may give some error. But these issues you will never ever face in production, because आपके production में इस तरह के कोई नाम ही नहीं होते. Production में आपके लंबे चौड़े से नाम होते हैं with a naming convention, right? जिसमें city का नाम, आपके data center का नाम, बहुत सारी चीजें होती है उसमें, right? Okay, so here same options, guys, exact same options. Even when doing a migration, if my on-premises server has 5 disks and I want to migrate only OS disk, OS disk I cannot check or uncheck, right? That has to be there. If you're migrating something, OS disk तो होना ही चाहिए. Similar to your ASR. ASR में OS disk तो होता ही है, तभी तो server होगा. Apart from that, if there were any disk, I will have an option to select or unselect that. I can leave that. कि नहीं मुझको data disk नहीं करना है migrate. I'll leave them. ये data मेरे कोई काम का नहीं है. I'm moving the machine there and we're gonna do the new start over there. मतलब OS disk का डेटा आ जाएगा, ऐप चल जाएगा. जो दूसरा डेटा था ना, टेम्परेरी डेटा, दैट आई डोंट वांट. आई कैन डू दैट हियर आल्सो. इन दिस केस सब में बस एक ही सिस्टम ड्राइव है. ओके, नो मैटर what do I have on my physical machine, what do I want when I go to Azure? Do I want premium disk? Do I want standard disk? क्या चाहिए? You can select it here. Because I'm just gonna do it and delete it, I can afford premium disk for half an hour. It's okay. Tags, all of you know. Next, and start a replication. Looking at this one, guys, what do you think? The replication will fail for all of them, will pass for all of them, will fail for few of them? Look at this. These are the server we are replicating. Try to recall the points which we discussed at the time of replication, and tell me if the replication will work for all 4 or will fail for some of them. If yes, why? If not, how?
As well, by replication will fail for 2 servers because the state of that servers are off. So replication would not be done because the server is currently off,
Right.
I think.
Perfect. These 2 servers. So it's done. Replication has been started. It is as good as आपका जो ASR हो तो वही exactly. Not even as good as. Backend में आपका वही चल रहा है. Replication ही चल रहा है. But you want to see the status, you come back here. Azure landing zone environment. Let's see where is it exactly, the one which we started. You don't want to start a new one. Okay, we don't want to start a new one. That one is maybe taking time. So best thing to check if you don't see anything here, the best way to check is your notification. Here it is. It is starting the server replication. Look at this. Yeah, it is in progress. Now, once you see these items are, what should be the status of that? What should be the status of the item where we'll know that replication has been done completely?
Protected.
Healthy and protected.
Yes. और इस वाले में you might surprise हो भी सकता है आपका Linux वाला server because there is no operating system in that. So you might see कि हो जाए because it's completely hollow. It is just a configuration. So that will be a learning for us also. But yes, if there is a server which is turned off, replication cannot be done. And look at this on my laptop. How do I see it? It is sending replica 14%, sending replica 3%. Can you see? This is how I see on my laptop, on my Hyper-V. Here, it has been done successfully. Your replication is not done successfully. Okay, your application has been configured successfully. We'll see replication का status कहाँ पर दिख रहा है. Yeah, if I click on overview, replicating machines. Here, can you see? All are healthy, which means all are good to replicate. It is 0% synchronized. It is 0% synchronized, which means they are being synchronized. They are being replicated. These two, they are waiting for the first time of synchronization. When will it happen? When will the first synchronization happen, guys? For Linux and Linux server, we just saw that. What is the state of those machines? So those machines are off. The synchronization will start for them when the machines are on. Till the time they will be here waiting for the first recovery. So they will not be protected. And unless they are protected, you cannot go ahead and do any kind of migration. Can you see? Test migration is grayed out. For this one also it's grayed out now. But once this synchronization will be done 100%, it will shown as protected. You will have this test migration, you will have cleanup test migration, you will have migration. But for this, it will never appear unless the first replication status comes as synchronized. When will it come? When you turn on those machines.
On the machines.
Yeah, okay. See, 7% is done. For Linux also, I think it's gonna fail. Not sure what is the issue there, but it's okay. We are counting on this machine. It might work also. I'll have to log into that machine and check. So once this is done 100%, it is synchronized, it is protected. We'll go ahead, we'll do the test migration, we'll clean up the test migration similar to what we did in ASR. Once the test migration is clean up, we'll go ahead and do the actual migration. Yes, someone was asking something.
Yes, sir. Like in replication ASR, we needed RSC, right? Recovery service.
Right.
So, like while doing this practical, I was not available yesterday. But have you used RSC here?
No. Yesterday we didn't do any practical. First thing, we all cover the theory part. For migration, whatever practical we are doing it right now. So you did not miss anything. Don't worry. Still watch the video. Very helpful. Second thing, that is the reason you have got Azure Migrate, right? As a UI, user interface. You're not using ASR now. It is just for your knowledge that at the backend ASR being used. So you don't have to worry about it. वो सब अपने आप कर लेता है. You have to use Azure Migrate tool. Okay. Okay. One more thing. Yeah. Code I came here. Look at this. Update is available. Which software it is talking about? Do you think? Read the screen properly, thoroughly. Take your own time and let me know which software it is talking about. And why is it showing the update is available? What did we miss? What did we skip? First thing, tell me, what is it talking about?
Hyper-V?
Which server? Hyper-V is in my laptop. What do you mean by Hyper-V? Could you elaborate? Whoever was that? Asif bhai, did you answer that? Hyper-V?
Yes, yes.
Could you elaborate? What do you mean by Hyper-V? Hyper-V तो मेरे लैपटॉप में इंस्टॉल है जिसके ऊपर वर्चुअल मशीन्स है.
Okay, okay.
ये किस सॉफ्टवेयर की बात कर रहा है? Yes, guys, any guess?
2016 सर्वर का
नहीं, 2016 सर्वर तो मेरी एक वर्चुअल मशीन है उसके ऊपर, ठीक है।
ओके ओके
उसका तो अज्योर को पता भी नहीं है, अज्योर कोई कुछ नहीं बोल पाएगा उसके बारे में, अभी तो वो सिंक भी नहीं हुए प्रॉपर, और अज्योर का काम भी नहीं है, वो बस मेरी मशीन वहां से उठा के यहाँ मूव कर देगा। think try, just because two answers were incorrect, do not stop.
Machine which we are sorry, the application I think which we are
Yes,
downloading to
yeah, the application which we downloaded here, let me bring my laptop screen, this one, if you guys remember, ये मैंने वहां से डाउनलोड की, and at the time of configuration, do you guys see, एक पहले आया था check updates recommended, and I told you that we never skip that, but here it is fine, we can skip that.
Yeah.
Yes, that is what it is. So it is saying कि ये सॉफ्टवेयर जो है आपने डाउनलोड किया थोड़ा सा आउटडेटेड है, इसका एक अपडेटेड वर्जन अवेलेबल है, you can do that. It is just a recommendation, but this is one of the troubleshooting steps, that whenever you face some problem, you come here and you check if any update is available. If it is available, you go ahead and update this one, update over there also, or you can uh, refresh the server, you can renew the certificate, or you can delete it completely from here. तो इससे जो कनेक्शन बना है ना आपके Hyper-V सर्वर के बीच में और Azure में, completely delete हो जाएगा और आप फिर से पूरा जीरो से ये करोगे, कनेक्शन बनाओगे. Okay, so these are the troubleshooting steps which you can try when it comes to migration. कि आपका Hyper-V मैंने ये सब कर लिया, Hyper-V दिख ही नहीं रहा है. So you can come here, you can check if any update is available, you can refresh the server, you can renew the certificate, or you can delete it. Okay, and if there are any errors, you'll see the errors also. This is not an error. Connection status is connected in green. This is just an information which says update is available. You want to do it, otherwise leave it. Replication machines आपको यहाँ पर दिखते हैं कौन से machines replicate हो रहे हैं, ठीक है. Healthy है इसका मतलब it doesn't mean कि पूरे replicate हो चुके हैं. This is different thing. Actual jobs you will see here. इसका क्या स्टेटस है, कहाँ पे पेंडिंग है, कोई एरर आ रहा है, कितना ड्यूरेशन से चल रहा है. इवेंट इफ यू वांट टू सी एनीथिंग, कितने बार आपने सर्वर को इंस्टॉल किया, वो उस सॉफ्टवेयर को अपडेट किया, इंस्टॉल किया, व्हाटएवर यू वांट टू सी, यू विल सी इट हियर. Still, if you want to know the more problems and issues, I always told you this is the best place. Diagnose and solve में चले जाओ, आपको 3-4 issues वहां पर दिख जाएंगे, आंसर में मिल जाएगा, वहीं से आप इंटरव्यू में उसको बोल सकते हो. Here it is. माइग्रेटिंग वीएम एजेंटलेस, जिस भी तरह के आपके इश्यूज है ना, इसमें से कौन सी कैटेगरी से आपको इश्यूज पिक करना है. सो दिस वन, लेट्स से, या, सो यू हैव a lot of data to read if you want to read, but it's okay, you don't have to worry about it. अगर यहीं से आपको सब कुछ पढ़ना होता तो you wouldn't have joined the classes, right? We are doing the classes because we should be spending our time and energy on targeted portion. That I have already given it to you. It is there in my OneNote. We discussed that yesterday based on my experience. जितने भी इंटरव्यू मैंने लिए माइग्रेशन में, हमने यही पूछा है, no matter even if I know something, this is a normal process. यार कोई मेरा भी इंटरव्यू रिकॉर्ड हो रहा है, later on tomorrow if my manager let's say that candidate is not good, and if my manager wants to pick up the call of the interview call, my director, if he wants to listen to that interview to check कि यार इस कैंडिडेट को ले किसने लिया, right? So I want to save my seat, I want to save my position. Hence I will ask the same questions. जो कंपनी ने बना के रखे वही क्वेश्चन मैं पूछ रहा हूँ. Even if I know कि यार ये रटे रटाए क्वेश्चन है, इसको लोग रट के आते हैं, इट्स ओके. मैं कोई रेवलेशन लाने नहीं बैठा हूँ यहाँ पर. एंड व्हेन आई से मैं कोई भी इंटरव्यूअर, दे आर नॉट डूइंग दैट. मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम एक शीट होता है क्वेश्चन का, उसी में से पूछते हैं. सिनेरियो 2-4 होते हैं, उसमें से पूछ लेते हैं. सो यू गो थ्रू विद दिस क्वेश्चंस एंड यू शुड बी गुड इनफ फॉर यू. ओके, अगेन ओवरव्यू में आप सब डिटेल्स देख सकते हो यहाँ पर. I mean, this is also giving you an overview कि टेस्ट माइग्रेशन अभी हमने किसी का नहीं किया, माइग्रेशन एग्जैक्टली किसी का नहीं किया है, रेप्लिकेशन चल रहा है, 4 सर्वर्स यहाँ पर डिस्कवर हो चुके हैं. इफ यू वांट टू डू समथिंग यू कैन जस्ट रिफ्रेश हियर. It is refreshing the tool. Okay, it is in progress, or let's say 4 virtual machines. If you want to add machines you can do it. ऐसे नहीं कि एक बार आपने कर दिया तो that's it, ये भी नहीं है. You can simply keep on adding machines. You have to do everything at the first time, वो भी that is not the case. So let's see if these have been protected or not. I think only one machine was there. Message and renew certificate, same options are here. It is still waiting for it. Or do we have, yeah, still waiting. So we have only 3 minutes left, guys. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. Once we stop this session, I will wait for this to get completed. Otherwise, हम पूरा half an hour बस इसको देखते ही रह जाएंगे कि replicate कब हो रहा है, and it might take some time. So I am requesting you guys to please spare some time today, because I could have done this very easily कि ये सब मैं कल ही करके रखता और आप लोगों को आज सिर्फ migration बता देता, but you won't understand that, right? That is the reason I want you to take participate. I want you to participate in this practical when we are doing it. Otherwise I would have done it, replicate वगैरह मैं करके रख लेता और आपको बाद में बता देता, but that is not going to help you. So please take some time. थोड़ा बहुत ज़्यादा time लग जाएगा आज, because we are taking longer breaks. So after these 2 minutes I'll stop the session and take a break. We'll wait till the time this finishes और ये protected बताता है. जब मुझको यहाँ पर test migration का option आएगा ना first, that time I'll start. See, I should get an option here which allows me to do the test migration. We'll do the test migration, we'll clean up the test migration, we'll do the migrate, and that should be enough. 3 step बाकी है हमारे. And if it is needed, we'll take the 4th session also, even if it is for 15 minutes, whatever it is, but we'll finish the migration today in one go. So it will be easier for you guys to start practical, start creating your resume, start interviews and everything. Okay, so if you guys do not have any questions, I will stop the session, or we still have 1 minute. If anyone of you have any questions, please ask.
सोहेल भाई,
Yes.
आपने जो बोला था कि इन द इंटरव्यू व्हाइल वी आर गिविंग एंड माइग्रेशन का टॉपिक के रिलेटेड जब हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे तब आपने बोला था कि 10 to 15 हमने माइग्रेशंस करे ऐसे बताना है, राइट?
नहीं I said 10 to 15 for किसके लिए बताया था मैंने 10 to 15?
5 years.
Yes. So whatever your experience, you calculated it. आपका 2 साल का है, so I'm not recommending you 5 or 15 migration. See, 5 plus years, 15 plus migration. आप अपना कैलकुलेशन कर लो, लोअर साइड रखो कभी भी. इससे कम बोलो चलेगा, ज्यादा मत बोलो. इससे 5 ईयर में 10 माइग्रेशन बोलो, अब 5 माइग्रेशन बोलो, दैट इज ऑल्सो फाइन.
तो ये 15 माइग्रेशन कैसे मतलब डिवाइड करना, या फिर जो भी XYZ नंबर है?
कंप्लीट प्रोजेक्ट्स.
हाँ.
एक सर्वर को एक माइग्रेशन नहीं गिन रहा. प्रोजेक्ट, एक माइग्रेशन था 200 सर्वर्स का, ये हुआ एक प्रोजेक्ट. दूसरा माइग्रेशन था 50 सर्वर का, ये हुआ एक प्रोजेक्ट. उस तरह से 10 माइग्रेशन के प्रोजेक्ट. Okay guys, then see you. I'll ping you when to join. I'll let you know. Once it is protected, I'll let you know. I'm stopping the session.
Okay.